right, guys, welcome back to the United States of America. It is October of 2023. Let's go ahead and recap what happened in the previous episode. And before we get started here, I do want to say I know it's been a while since I've done this, but we are going to be closing this series up. Finally, after about, I guess, maybe less than a year of production, even though there has been a long time. The last time I actually posted an episode of this was back in June. Mainly, the reason that I stopped production on the United States is mainly because I was waiting for the 2021 edition to come out. But the 2021 edition has been out since last month, so we will go ahead and close this series up. This is most likely not going to be the last episode. I think we're going to make our way a little bit into 2024. We'll probably make our way up to the election, just kind of like, just so the closing does make a lot of sense for you guys. But we will go ahead and go on from here. And so in the previous episode, essentially, we had a major strike across the nation from the commercial trucking union. I believe maybe that was caused by, did I allow? Yes, it was because I allowed self-driving vehicles on the highway systems, and the commercial trucking union didn't like that, mainly because this would take away from their drivers, etc. So if I actually come over to here, we actually have a major event that's about to happen. So if we go over to space research, we go over here, we go to the moon, and then we go over to the Artemis program. The Artemis program is going to launch in November of 2023. So this is going to be the pinnacle of space research. We are finally returning back to the moon in this episode. So this is going to be a major achievement for the United States. $60 billion has brought us here. And this was created in 2017, near the end of the first year of the first administration of Donald Trump. And so we are going to, so we're good with technology and programs required. Apparently we needed a space habitation module, launching the module, landing the module, astronaut, land mission, or manned mission, place in orbit, construction of a habitation module, super heavy rockets. And so we are good to launch this. So estimated risk of failure, less than 30%. So let's actually go ahead and get this for October. Let's go over here and let's go for the end of the month. And we are way ahead of schedule right now. We're going to do a Halloween launch. So whenever during Halloween, all these kids are going to be going out, and we'll see that we are going to the moon. So let's go ahead and get to the end of the month, in which we are finally going to send American astronauts back to the moon. We should be able to get a TV address about 11 days after that mission is. Let's go ahead and look at Taiwan. If you actually see, if you guys have been paying attention to Taiwan affairs recently, at least in the last couple of months since I made this episode, the last episode of this, I have 51,000 troops in Taiwan. So this will help in terms of keeping the Chinese out of Taiwanese waters and out of Taiwanese airspace and more. So can we ask the Taiwanese before we end this series if we can add? Oh, we actually can. So let's go ahead and go over here. Let's go to construction and let's go over to air. We can come over here. We can go to Taiwan and then we can fully fund this project. We will help the Taiwanese in terms of putting an air base in Taiwan. So that will take 90 days to complete. Maybe, I think it'll be done by the end of this episode. And then we have really good relations with South Korea, really good relations with Taiwan, really good relations with Indonesia, and pretty moderate relations with Australia. So very, very good terms right here. Afghanistan, I actually apparently, I think it was about half a dozen episodes ago, I actually withdrew all of my troops from Afghanistan. That was in 2022 in the game, and we actually saw since the beginning of this series, That situation has completely changed. So unfortunately, when President Biden actually did withdraw troops from Afghanistan, Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan, fell, and the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan officially fell on August 15th, 2021, and U.S. forces officially withdrew entirely from Afghanistan on August 31st, 2021. So there is no longer any sort of U.S. or NATO presence in Afghanistan as of this point in history, in real life. And it looks like that the military situation is okay. You know, we're not seeing a total takeover of Afghanistan by the Taliban. Looks like they actually freed this region up here. It's called the Badakhshan region. And it looks like that they are doing pretty good in terms of the military situation. Unfortunately, it cannot be said the same for the current day and time. So that does very much suck. Let's go ahead and come over here, and you actually see the graphics difference right here. You can actually see the difference with 64-bit in Power and Revolution. Obviously, I've been playing a lot of the 2021 edition, so we will. You can definitely see the graphics have improved. Do you think that they have improved, or do you think that they have gone under as of the 2021 edition? What are you guys' thoughts on the 2021 edition? Do you think it's better than the 2020 edition? Again, what are your thoughts? We're again making our way to the end of the month, so I'll go ahead and skip forward on this, and if anything happens, we will take care of the situation. But until then, we are making our way to the end of October to see Artemis finally launch into space. All right, and we see Artemis space program scheduled liftoff in 1 week. The astronauts are aware of the risk they're taking. They're absolutely ready, and so is the team on the ground. As a matter of fact, there's a general feeling of excitement present as we approach the launch date of the Artemis program. For those who are watching right now, there is an actual space program called Artemis that is going to launch. There are going to be 3 Artemis launches. It's going to be Artemis 1 in December or November of this year, of 2021. That it's going to go to the moon, and it's going to be unmanned. It's going to go to the moon, test out all the computer technology that they put in it, and then Artemis 2 is going to launch in 2023. It's going to be a manned mission. It's going to be a flyby of the moon, and then Artemis 2. If I said Artemis 3, and then Artemis 3 is going to be the manned mission to the moon that is scheduled to launch in September 2024. And in September 2024, they're saying that it could be delayed because the spacesuits are apparently not going to be ready until April 2025. But at least for right now, the scheduled launch for the Artemis program is September of 2024, which is really cool because I'm going to be able to have a moon landing for my birthday. Hopefully, we actually have a moon landing for my birthday. That would be really cool if it aligned with my birthday. At least either the launch or the actual moon landing itself. So we are on October 30th, 2023. We are now a day, less than 24 hours from the Artemis launch. Let's go ahead and watch Artemis finally bring America back to the moon. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, this is around the time that we may see an explosion. Hopefully this doesn't happen. We have a 0% chance of it happening. We need to make sure this is successful, or else this will be a disaster in terms of that. It looks like that they are now on their way to the moon. That is amazing. We are now sending several astronauts back to the moon. America will now return to the moon on November 11th, 2023. That is a major achievement. We are now on our way to the moon. All right, so we are now seeing the mission is running its course according to established schedule. No incident to report as of right now. Everything looks good for the Artemis program. Looks like that we are halfway through the Artemis program as of right now. We actually see space research. We have now completed it. Let's see what happens.
Astronauts have once again trod on lunar soil. A great feeling for all of mankind, perhaps even more so for those old enough to have already seen it happen in 1969. The team predicts many more missions, including a detour to the Sea of Tranquility, the landing site for Apollo 11. The international community unanimously has praised this achievement, which is the result of years of work by our scientific teams. A great success for space research.
And she is absolutely correct. That is one of the greatest feats that has been accomplished in decades. I mean, we have not been to the moon since Richard Nixon was president back in 1972, whenever Apollo 11 left the moon for the last time. That is the greatest achievement that we have been waiting decades and decades and decades to accomplish yet again. And we have now accomplished that feat. Once again, America has returned to the moon, and it looks like that we are now going to return back. The end of the mission will be on 11/14, so it's going to be it's actually interesting because we launched on November 1st, mainly because of the 24-hour it's kind of the way the game works. So it technically launched on October 31st, and then it was supposed to come back about 2 weeks later. So that's kind of the way it worked. Anyway, it looks like that we did land there on November 11th on Veterans Day of 2021, and then we are now on our way back, and we will return back in a few days. So let's go ahead and see. We have apparently a terrorist attack as the moon was being walked on. We see that we are still as divided as ever. I mean, there was an attack in Greensboro. 3 civil servants were victims of poisoning.
A contact poison that goes through pores has spread through paper reports of the customs services, bringing about the sudden death of 3 people yesterday. It would seem that the perpetrators of this act managed to infiltrate the premises by getting recruited as cleaning men. The investigation is only just beginning.
And that is very unfortunate that during our accomplishment of walking men on the moon, walking men and women on the moon,
the preparation
that there was an attack in Greensboro, North Carolina. We will watch the situation unfold. And as we do that, let's go over here to cybersecurity. Let's go over to Jihadist Caliphate, and let's go ahead and place everyone under surveillance. This is going to be something that we're going to be watching out for, and then we're going to infiltrate the organization. We're also going to infiltrate the Chinese mafia, the Italian mafia. We're going to infiltrate them and try to bring down these terrorist organizations. We're also going to increase funding to let's look, agent training, and then fight against terrorism. It's going to be $42 billion in increased defense funding, or at least Secret Service funding. Looks like inflation is going up, so let's go ahead, and we have 6% interest rate. So let's go over here to debt. Let's see what we're doing right now. Quarterly surplus seems to be $27 billion that we're going to be able to pay off of our debt. This is obviously before. You can actually see, if you look now, you will see how different debt is compared to what it is in the 2021 edition. And now you don't even have to pay off random amounts of debt that are set by a computer. You can actually pay off a surplus. This actually goes to you in a treasury reserve every month or every quarter, and then you get to choose who you get to pay off, when that debt is paid off. And you can also use that money, if you don't want to use it on debt, then you can use it on other projects. So debt, you can see how much debt has been reworked in this game, which is a very awesome feature. I really like how things have changed in the 2021 edition. Honestly, in my opinion, I believe that it is way better than the 2020 edition. Way better. Japan discovers carbon nanofiber as a very good achievement for Japan. We actually really want that. It's a very good material for us to have. Artemis space program astronauts return. They have returned to Earth after the success of their mission. Although they're still tired from their journey, they're in good health and are happy to be back with their loved ones. They're immediately taken to the Space Medicine Center to readapt to our gravity. So Artemis space program has been a complete success. We have now returned to the moon, and we will definitely, let's go ahead and go over here to space research. And as we do that, let's go ahead and come over here. Let's go over to permanent base on the moon. Let's go ahead and start making plans for a permanent base on the moon. We're going to call it the International Lunar Station, ILS. We're going to give that $215 billion worth of funding. We're going to do 45% of funding for this project. Well, actually, let's go ahead and do 50%. Let's go ahead and create that, and that will not come out of our budget until soon. So let's go ahead and do a launch for 2031 because we need to start getting partners. We need to also launch a couple more space programs before that will actually come through. Mars 2020 space program has been a success.
After a long journey of many months, the probe has just returned to Earth with invaluable samples. The airtight compartment that held them was handed over to a scientific team who will analyze them in a sealed laboratory to avoid any contamination. Their analysis will allow a better understanding of the formation of celestial bodies and our galaxy, and also perhaps lead to the discovery of molecules unknown on Earth. Meanwhile, the program director appeared before the media to praise policymakers for having taken the initiative for this long-term scientific endeavor and for having secured sufficient means to guarantee its success. He called it a great success for our nation.
And he is right. That is a great success for our nation. If you actually remember back in 2020, there was a landing on Mars with a brand new advanced space rover that landed on Mars. It was called Perseverance, but the program was actually called Mars 2020, but the rover is called Perseverance. So that's probably what you're like, what is Mars 2020? Well, that was actually the Perseverance rover. We have that refugee camp ready. Yep, look at that. We actually have a refugee camp ready to go for this. Let's go ahead and do reach New York. Let's go ahead and ask for this. It may be a bit exaggerated, just because when we have nothing to fear, Mr. President. Do you wish, despite the data, order an evacuation? Let's go ahead and refuse the evacuation in Connecticut, but let's go ahead and evacuate New York and Pennsylvania. We have 105,000 people coming in from Pennsylvania alone. Putting together a refugee convoy. We already made that. We have a refugee camp available in Virginia, so that is going to help us out a lot. That's actually really good that we have that prepared.
The preparation.
If you actually want my advice, always create refugee camps around hurricane season. They will always end up evacuating. Full evacuation of the risk zones. Police are particularly effective. The inhabitants are progressively moving toward different welcoming centers. Let's go ahead and see, what are those refugees doing? They are on their way. Apparently, are you using the highways? Yeah, I guess they do utilize the highways, which is really cool. Storm of Pennsylvania, garbage cans. Yeah, apparently that evacuation was unneeded. Where are those refugees? There they are. Are you still? Yeah, you see actually how fast they go whenever they use those highways. That's actually really cool. Global warming underachiever, apparently. Shut up, Greta. Religious holiday. Where does refugees go? The refugees go home? Yeah, see? See, we didn't even need it.
We've obtained some information.
We've obtained some information on the suspect. And we are nearing the end of the year, so this is really good. In this episode, we have finally returned back to the moon, and we are now preparing for a international lunar station, which is actually, again, a real thing that is being prepared for. It's a real thing. It actually is a real thing. European Space Agency is offering us about 20% of funding. So let's go ahead and accept the ESA, the European Space Agency, as a partner in this program. And now we have that is going to be about 69% funded. So current program, so we have total budget $215 billion, and the current program budget is $148 billion. I think we're also going to invite the Canadians. We're going to invite the Canadians over. And we're going to ask the Japanese as well. And we're going to refuse that Nepalese meeting. Then we're going to ask the South Koreans. And then we're also going to ask the Taiwanese. So that is going to be our space mission. We should also ask the Afghanistan. I want to see Afghanistan on the International Lunar Station. Russia has started a competing program. Looks like they want to beat us to a lunar base first. Yeah, looks like since we refused them in that whenever they offered. Actually, like if they offer us again, I would actually like to invite them into the mission. I won't say no to the Russians. It's just that the ESA was offering $40 billion against Russia's $20 billion. So of course I'm going to take the higher offer. Germany looks like they want to offer us another $37 billion for that program. Let's go ahead and let's accept them. Let's accept them into the program. And we are going to get a lot of partners. We're going to get a lot of partners for this. We're actually probably going to get more people to spend on it, and then that's going to be less money that we're actually footing the bill for. We're still going to be spending a lot on it, but invite to join your International Lunar Station space program.
Yes.
Awesome. Make an effort in terms of human rights.
Our country is confronted with many
What the hell is South Korea doing in terms of human rights? I don't have God in Spy, so I can't check. What? What are they doing? South Korea is a dictatorship now? That is insane. Hang on, G&H, human rights, development since the start of the game. That is interesting. Demography, life and health, security, human rights. Freedom of the press. What is South Korea doing in terms of, so in the beginning of the game, they were, so it looks like they're still 61 in terms of freedom of the press, level of democracy. So let's look. There were 67 in the beginning, and now we're 89. So they have actually regressed in terms of human rights. That's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Looks like they've stayed the same in terms of salary equality. But wow. Oh, we need to... I think we're gonna pull our troops out of South Korea and just let the North Koreans take them over. Cape Verdean membership, a part of the OECD. Let's go ahead and accept that. And then...
One of my men...
Mafia, yeah, let's go ahead and take them out here at home. And then... Alarming situation for the third age. What is this? Material situation of elderly is terrible. The vast majority have barely enough money to eat and to lounge. The hopeless Cases multiply, malnutrition, and inability to take care of themselves. The list is long, and our sidewalks darken with Octo or non-Agarian homeless people. Our country cannot bear such a scandal, Mr. President. Alarming situation for the third age. Wow. Canada.
Sure.
We need to invite them for the ILS.
Yes.
All right, look good. I don't even know if I want the South Koreans on my space station now. ILS. Space research, ILS. Azerbaijan wants to come. South Korea offering $40 billion. Oh, let's take that Canadian offer. $50 billion. That is amazing. Let's go. Let us go. We are now overfunded by about $20 billion. Looks like it is 50%. We'll be funding 50%, or 40% actually. And then the rest of the world will be offering. Let's go ahead and wait for one more partner to come along. And then we will close out that deal. And then Japan.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and invite them.
Thank you very much for your advice, sir.
No!
However, I just don't need it. I shall decide on my own.
No, that sucks. Oh man, Japan. It's because of our relations. They really don't like me. Right now they're like light red. Mainly because of the political situation. So that sucks that we are not going to be able to get JAXA on board. Let's go ahead and get the Taiwanese to come along, though. I want to get the Taiwanese, the true China, along with us.
It's
awesome. The Taiwanese will be joining us for our international lunar station effort.
It's true that the blow cannot...
Oh, damn. Cannot be described as worth ass.
One of my men...
All right, Jihadist Caliphate, let's take them out. And before we take them out, I want to do... Let's go to terrorists. Jihadist Caliphate, let's go to file. Now let's look. Saw a violent film. Took a bicycle ride near a school. Let's place everyone else under surveillance. Maybe it's... I have a feeling it's going to be this guy. It's going to be the leader of the organization. Or Tony. It's always like a Nick or a Tony or something like that. I don't know. Who do you guys think it's gonna be? We're almost done with the quarter here, so we're gonna have to end this episode soon. Nobel Prize for Medicine for Tony Rochards. It's a very good thing the Nobel Prize was awarded to Tony Rochards, who always supported your policy. Famous medical doctor is evidently utterly full of joy, but the worldwide fame and the prize it brings also rewards our policy and will undoubtedly reflect on your popularity, Mr. President. That is awesome to see that happens. Let's go over to the next couple of days. Christmas is coming up, and boost. Pakistan, do we want to get rid of Amir Shah? We're gonna refuse that opportunity as of right now. Look at this. One entire U.S. administration and no political assassinations. Is this what the Biden administration is coming for? It's also unrealistic. We're in the year 2024 and we're not at war with China yet.
One of my men succeeded in...
Italian Mafia, let's go ahead and take them out. Let's go to the next day. And Christmas. Beheading of the Jihadist Caliphate.
Scientific rigor has proved its superiority over doctrinal barbarity. A simulation program based on Mering's models, the application of transactional analysis.
A lot of scientific jibber jabber, but that what we're taking away from that is that the Jihadist Caliphate is no longer a threat in the United States. That is awesome. We close out the year of 2023. This is a very eventful episode. Getting a lot of things done, aren't we? $487 million. Belarus reconnaissance. We're going to say no. Attempt to eliminate head of state. We're going to refuse that again. I think we have 2 moles in Pakistan as of right now. CIA, secret files, Prime Minister. We have a lot of proof on Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. Apparently, what a surprise that. Purchase of nuclear missiles from foreign powers proof. Final jail transit to terrorist organizations proof. Supply of weapons to terrorist organizations proof. Sounds like Saudi Arabia. That definitely sounds like Saudi Arabia. And then Pakistan, we have production of nuclear missiles. Oh, wow, what a surprise. It's as if they're not a nuclear power. Financial aid to terrorist organizations, proven supplier of weapons to terrorist organizations is proof of that as well. CO2 operation, and apparently we're really good at taking out the jihadist caliphate and then really bad at taking out the mafia. I mean, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. It is now the year 2024. Let's go ahead and see how much debt we just paid off for ourselves. And let's go ahead and play. $117 billion cash surplus has been paid off the U.S. debt. And then we are now inaugurating an airbase in Taiwan.
The work is finally...
Let's go ahead and inaugurate that airbase in Taiwan. Man, if this was happening in real life, like, the Chinese would not stand for it. They would absolutely not stand for it. That would be impossible. We have 100 soldiers onto that airbase already, and we'll go ahead and probably change all of that next episode. Well, actually, you know, it is the year 2024. We are now in an election year. I think we're gonna end this series on a high note. I think we're gonna go ahead and stop production of the United States officially. And guys, if you guys like this, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're gonna end this on a high note. We're not gonna run for a re-election, and we're not gonna go through the campaign for the next over the next year. That would take at least a couple of episodes, or unless I did it all in one episode. If you guys do really want to see me run for election or something like that, it's not going to be Biden. It's not going to be anything like that. I mean, what I really would do, I mean, I would probably just let the Republicans win and just kind of like run a really bad campaign and just see how good the Republicans do in that election. But I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. This was called Biden's America. And ending the series on a high note is what I want to do. So let's go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more series like this, just hit that bell notification icon. Leave a comment down below what type of series you want to see on this channel. But I do already have a planned series that is already going forward with production. It is going to be about a very special country to the community and to one of my great friends, Gabe Vogel. We are going to be doing the Federative Republic of Brazil. We're going to figure out, we're going to topple the current president of Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro, and we are going to run against him in the elections, try to see how many seats we can get in the legislature, and we will do a lot for Brazil. We will try to expand our influence across South America, and we will try to repair our image on the world stage, because looks like if you actually have been paying attention to Brazilian politics, a lot of people in Brazil are actually worried about a replication of the events that happened in January of 2021 in the United States. And one of the biggest things is that apparently in Brazil, their institutions are, of course, way weaker than they are in the United States. And a lot of Brazilians, including some of my friends in Brazil, are worried about what's going to be happening in Brazil. So we're going to take command in Brazil. We're going to run against Jair Bolsonaro, and then we will try to fix Brazil. We will repair the economy, fight against corruption, and we will repair the Brazilian image on the world stage. We're going to expel our influence outside of Brazil once we do repair and get a cap on the situations that are happening within Brazil. So it's going to be an extremely exciting series, which I'm really, really, really excited for. So if you guys are excited for the Federal Republic of Brazil, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the first episode of the Federative Republic, and we will see you when I start making episodes of the Federative Republic of Brazil. But thank you all for joining me for the United States of America. We will again move on to more bigger projects such as Brazil. So I will see you guys in Brazil. Thank you guys. Take care.